Today, let us study the words of God with the title, The Words of God That Bless Us in the End. Throughout the 66 books of the Bible, don't some words teach us about things that we should do, while others about things we should not do? We simply need to do it when God says that we should do it. When God instructs us that there are things we should not do, isn't it because God wants to bless us? Both types of words demonstrate the hidden will of God. It is so that, in the end, it might go well with us. Through the Bible, let us confirm the fact that God came to this earth at His first coming and at His second coming to bless us. Let us turn to Deuteronomy chapter 8. Chapter 8, verse 1 says, "Be careful to follow every command I am giving you today, so that you may live and increase and may enter and possess the land that the Lord promised on oath to your forefathers. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the desert these 40 years. Ultimately, the Israelites came to realize that the reason God led them through the desert was so that, in the end, it would go well with them. While they were going through the desert, there could have been various circumstances that made the people think, that path looks much better than this path, or this way is a much more reasonable path than that one. However, when they followed the path given by God, they came to realize, God led us this way so that we can be blessed in the end. That's why God told us to remember and not forget the history of the events that occurred in the desert. Let's continue with verse 2. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the desert these 40 years, to humble you and to test you, in order to know what was in your heart. Here, what does the phrase, "to know what was in your heart," mean? Until now, have you followed God with the faith, saying to yourself, no matter the path I am given, I know that you are leading me to be blessed, so I will continue to follow you? Or have you been stubborn and said to yourself, no matter what you tell me, I will insist on going a different way according to my own thoughts? Those who followed their stubbornness eventually came to disobey while walking in the desert. As a result of their disobedience, they could not receive blessings from God, and their lives came to an end. Such a tragic history is illustrated throughout the 40-year journey in the desert. That's why God said in verse 2 that He tested you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep His commands. Verse 3. He humbled you. Sometimes He humbles us, and other times, causing you to hunger and then feeding you with manna, which neither you nor your fathers had known, to teach you that man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. Verse 4. Your clothes did not wear out, and your feet did not swell during these 40 years. Know then in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so the Lord your God disciplines you. Observe the commands of the Lord your God, walking in His ways and revering Him. It is not God's will to make us, His children, suffer or go through hardships without any reason. Through this whole process, it is God who is leading us to His blessings in the end. If we have faith in God, let us not forget that even the smallest thing, or the most trivial thing God asks us to follow, is a path which He has prepared in order to bless us. I wish for you and I to always walk the path that leads us to God's blessing. Thank you very much.